G'day and welcome back to the channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. It is truly appreciated. And of course, giving this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, be truly appreciated. Now, you're probably wondering, what are we doing here today? And what are we looking at? What movie are we looking at? Well, Neon Maniacs. This is my Trashy Tuesday review of this 1986 cult classic film. So let's take a look into it, shall we? Okay, now before I do want to say, obviously, big thank you to all my new and existing subscribers. Obviously, me doing these reviews and you guys watching them means a lot to me, so thank you very much. It is really, truly appreciated. Let's get into this, shall we? The film was directed by Joseph Mangine and it stars Clyde Hayes, Leilani Sarel, Donna Locke, and many more. Now, the plot is, it's a bit of a weird one, but a group of teenagers in San Francisco discover a nest of homicidal monsters living in a tower of the Golden Gate Bridge. But when they try to tell the authorities, no one believes them. It's a tale as old as time, isn't it? Now, there will be spoilers ahead. But look, I'll be honest with you, this was an interesting one. When I first saw this video cover back in, probably the late 80s, early 90s, I thought it was like mutants in a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland or something, but turns out it was just the 80s. But the cover is what drew me in. You've got this deformed, and I don't know if you'll see him here, but I'll pop a picture up. You've got this deformed mutant samurai on the front cover, and look, that just sold it to me because, yeah, why the hell not? Rewatching Neon Maniacs, it is a bit of a trip down the 80s horror lane. It manages to be both delightfully cheesy and surprisingly entertaining. So if you're a fan of practical effects with a healthy dose of campiness, this cult classic is definitely worth a watch. The directing and writing. Now, what makes this movie stand out is the creativity behind the Neon Maniacs themselves. Each one has a very unique, bizarre design that adds a certain charm to the film. From the samurai themed monster to the, there's just some weird out there characters in this. You can't help appreciate the effort that was put into the creatures' stories, their designs. They came from somewhere. Yeah, the pacing as well. The pacing of this film is brisk, and it does maintain a sense of energy throughout, even through the slower scenes where they're investigating. They are building that rapport with our main characters. It's quite good to see that in a 80s slasher film, or not even a slasher film. It does have elements of a slasher, but it's also elements of a monster film as well, and it ties them all together really well. One of the major shortcomings of Neon Maniacs lies in some of the storytelling. It does feel a little lackluster in the way they bring out the mutants or why they're there. The plot revolves around a group of these grotesque monsters who emerge from, the Golden Gate Bridge at night to terrorize, teens of San Francisco. But the concept is there, and it definitely has potential, but it struggles to provide a really coherent and engaging narrative for them. The human characters, yes. The monsters, we're not giving any backstory. We're not given any reason as to why they're there, and it does leave it with more questions and answers. Another glaring issue is the tone of the film is somewhat inconsistent. It attempts to balance horror, comedy, and teen drama, but it transitions between these elements very awkwardly and can be quite jarring. The comedic moments sometimes fall flat, and it undermines the intended scares of the film. The teen drama can feel forced and unconvincing. And it's this lack of a cohesive tone that prevents a film from establishing a strong identity and leaves the audience unsure of how to react to the unfolding events. In particular, when it gets to the end, the ending just feels flat. And now on to the effects. So the special effects in Neon Maniacs are a mixed bag. As I mentioned in the writing, the design of the Neon Maniacs is very creative and it is quite memorable. That samurai has had a lasting impact on me. Like I said, I first saw it on a VHS cover and it just stuck with me. It's a really cool design, but the execution is inconsistent. Practical effects and makeup are hit and miss, with some scenes showcasing very impressive work, while others reveal the limitations of the film's budget and, of course, with the various behind the scenes delays and reasons, those issues alone can be a contributing factor. The low budget practical effects do contribute to the overall campiness and fun of the film, but it may not appeal to viewers seeking a more polished and visually striking horror experience. But I love the creature designs in this one. They are fantastic. Like, there's a lot of thought and a lot of ingenuity that went into them. So now we come to rewatchability, and it's definitely been a very long time since I have seen this film. The imaginative creature designs, nostalgic practical effects, and a sense of fun definitely make this an enjoyable watch if you're after a dose of monsters, particularly for those who enjoy cult horror films from the 80s. If you're after mayhem with a splash of neon, this is for you. But for me, it's probably not one that I'll go back and rewatch for a little while. So overall, Neon Maniacs may hold some appeal for fans of obscure and quirky horror films, but its flaws outweigh its strengths. It's the confusing plot, the inconsistent tone, lackluster character development make it challenging to watch for those seeking a well-crafted and engaging horror experience. While the film may have gained a cult following, it's more likely to be remembered for its eccentricities rather than its merits as a horror film. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. Like I said, the creature designs, you just don't see that level of creature design nowadays. You do occasionally, but it's few and far between. But as for a score, this was a tough one, but weighing everything up, I gave Neon Maniacs a 5 out of 10. There you have it. That is my review of the 1986 classic Neon Maniacs. Have you seen this film? What do you think of it? Of course, let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this film. But if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I do release a new review. Obviously, I've got my Trashy Tuesdays, I've got Franchise Fridays as well. We're doing Resident Evil, going through the entire series, so check that out. Of course, my 60-second reviews, and I've got some live streams, watch-alongs, and all that coming up soon. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.